Recently, I was actually in Bahrain, and they are working there's a lot of work being done on the Waqf, because there are some of the very efficient instruments in Kuwait. They have a very strong magma Waqf. So it was mentioned that there are 60 billion rupees right now lying in the Waqf fund in the Islamic countries. So even if you use that the investment income of that 60 billion, so that's a huge. So there's some work is done. Unfortunately, the Waqf which we have here in Pakistan, regulatory environment, they only deal with this Waqaf, this Mazar, and then shrines, and not more than that. So then you have a Waqf pool on the basis of risk sharing. There are participants who will come and join the pool. Then there is a Takaful operator. Again, this is a third party. Takaful operator is a operator actually, is not the risk taker. And the fund is everything is managed within the pool. People will come and become the member of the pool and pay contributions. Takaful operator, this pool would keep growing. Takaful operator will charge a fixed fee, which is called wakala. Or if the Takaful operator will do investment, Takaful operator will get some mudarib fee on that. What would happen at the end of the period? If there are some claim which will be paid by the pool, not by the operator. If there are investments which will be managed on behalf of the pool, not by the operator, for himself. And claims will be paid out of the pool, and anything which is left out in the pool at the year end, normally which is called in insurance terms underwriting profit. So there is no underwriting profit insurance. It would be a surplus which will go back to the customer, or it would be remain in the pool. So this is a basic difference. Similarly, in family takaful, there is only one additional thing, that family takaful is basically part of two contracts, bundle of two contracts. One is investment management, another is risk management. Risk management is done again through this takaful pool, and investment management is done like a mutual fund would do, and like a small Islamic mutual fund would be operating. We just buy and sell units of the fund, and all the underlying investment are in the Islamic mode. And what are those Islamic modes? This is all defined rules of Islamic investment. Now what happens actually, from where this takaful came actually, what happened, if you go back a little bit in the history, that after 16, Muslims used to have their own legal system and their own financial system. They had their own trade rules, they had their own international IR system. What happened in the colonization, the process of colonization, when these colonials came and they changed the legal system of all the countries, which included Pakistan and like India subcontinent and all over the place. You will see when French went, they implemented French law, and where Pakistan English went, they implemented case law. So as a result, and at that time, these all financial instruments were growing, stock markets, insurance, and everything. The sophistication was coming in. And until very recently, it happened very recently, last 40, 50 years ago, that Muslim countries started getting independence. Once they got independence, the first question came to them in the financial system that the riba, the interest which is offered by commercial bank, is really a riba or is it something else? So it was a huge debate. It continued for 20 years. Then movement started to find the alternative. It is the same riba, then movement started to find an alternate. Then first Islamic bank came, then Islamic banking they started to, but the main problem was Islamic banking or takaful, the main problem which they have to operate within the same regulatory regime, which is not conducive for those instruments. And then what started, and then first DIB came in 70s, and then immediately after Islamic banking, the need for takaful came, because a bank would need to have their assets insured or their risk insured. First takaful company was formed in 1979 in Sudan. And there are a number of fatwas issued and a number of things happened. 1979, first takaful company came. In 1987, first takaful act came actually. A first piece of regulatory document which came in Malaysia. It came in 1987. And then it got some momentum in Middle East and then in Malaysia. So this is just a brief movement of the takaful industry, this is how the takaful industry has grown from just one company, and then there were different models coming in. You would see there are a number of models, but now predominantly there is one model which is called Wakala model. Currently there are a number of 134 takaful operators worldwide, 36 window operations, those is in Malaysia and Bangladesh. and there are 13, 15 Irani operators actually, because they have a different model. So sometimes if you include them into Takaful, people would say it's not Takaful actually, but there are 15 Takaful operators. And there are 18 re-Takaful operators. The first issue which came in the beginning when Takaful came, at the end of the day you are going to reinsure. And if you are reinsuring, so you are going to join the same pool. So how it is going to be different? So this was the big issue, but it was a chicken and egg situation. Sharia scholars took a view. They decided to allow to do some re-Takaful on the basis of with the conventional reinsurer, and slowly and gradually all players, all large and dominant players started to come in the re-Takaful market. So these are few big re-Takaful players which include Munich Re, Swiss Re, Hannover Re. They all sense the need for this. They all see sense of business opportunity. So they launch separate companies to manage the Takaful business. And what has happened that there were three models actually. So what happens whenever a new concept would come, it would go through a process of refinement, slowly and gradually. And we are still growing, and we are still going through a process of refinement. This is continuously happening. Reinsurance agreements and arrangements are continuously changing as well. In Pakistan, Takaful started when new insurance ordinance came in 2002. So it used the word Takaful somewhere, and that Takaful could come in Pakistan. So this was the beginning. And then actually a landmark decision was made by the ulama of Pakistan. It was in 2003. They had ijma of ulama coming from all over the world to review the Takaful model, because it was at that time there was a need, and then they review all the models prevalent around in the region, and then they come up with their Wakala Waqf model, which is the model being used now. Then SCCP formed a committee to form insurance rules, which came in 2005. So this was the beginning of Takaful in Pakistan in 2005, and SCCP started giving licenses to insurance companies. And as of now, there are 3 journal Takaful operator and 2 family Takaful operator. The numbers could have been higher, but what happened immediately after coming up with the rules, there were other players who were interested to come, but SCCP started discussing about window Takaful. They didn't allow window Takaful for 5 years, but they actually have been kept saying that this is something which we intend to do, so the people actually shied away from the market. First general Takaful company was Pak Kuwait Takaful, and then actually other companies came, Pak Qatar Family Takaful, and General Takaful came in 2007. They got license, started doing business in 2008. Total there are 5 operators currently in the market. Now, for need for Takaful, if you would see, there's insurance penetration. Because one of the reasons for insurance penetration that was mentioned earlier, the lack of interest by the government. For example, everywhere life insurance companies, they do get some incentive, or individuals get some incentive tax allowance for investing in life insurance in life insurance companies. It used to be a tax allowance in Pakistan. Government used to give a tax allowance, but it was stopped, actually withdrawn in 1992. Then it didn't happen. Couple of years back, there was discussion started that we should have a tax allowance, but it didn't happen. And then mutual fund industry end of the day managed to get it. Anyways, so we see that there is a very low penetration rate, but this low penetration rate in Pakistan, I agree that it's very low, but if you see all around the world, Muslim countries, traditionally they have a lower penetration rate, except, if you just, Malaysia is a multicultural country where you have different kind of people, different sects and different religion of people are living. There are 40-45% Muslims, rest are Chinese and Malays. But otherwise you see the insurance penetration has been low in most of the Muslim countries. One of the dominant reasons were that Muslims, they did not have capitalization. Muslim investors did not invest heavily in this business, number one. And number two, it was always had a clash with their beliefs. So there were the 2 major reasons. So what we see that there is a public need, people need to